All right, Catherine, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me about your new series on Netflix, Cursed. I just binged the 10 episodes. I'm sort of on the high of what you guys did. Thank you so much for that. So let me ask you this. As somebody who's a history buff, how did you react to the element of fantasy and how sort of Frank and Tom sort of wheeled it in? I wonder if somebody who was a buff of history handled that part of the story they were telling.
I mean, to me, the Arthurian legends, as much as they are ingrained in our history, they're also, incredible stories and fables. And they have such powerful messages behind each of the legends. Uh, so I think, first and foremost, to be able to tell this story, or retell this story, which is so familiar, and see it through a lens of one of its most powerful yet mysterious characters, the Lady of the Lake, that was a really exciting opportunity. And then to be able to see that through the lens of Frank Miller and Tom Wheeler, I was really excited from the get-go, and they are a huge part of the reason why I signed on was excited to tell this story.
So take me to when I don't know if you got all the scripts all in once or you got a treatment, but what I love about it's such a great character, but within the greatness of how she's written, and she also manages to subvert where you think the plot is going constantly. You think it's going left and she manages to go right. I want your first reaction to seeing that before you actually got to play it, because I imagine it was exciting when you sort of saw the scope of it.
It's interesting because I signed on, I was the first person to sign on, and I signed on off a draft of the book. There
Oh,
were
wow.
no finalized scripts. I just knew that Tom Wheeler, Frank Miller, Zena Fuentes were part of it. Netflix came to me and I said, look, I love this. I want to be a part of it. And so it kind of evolved from there. And what I learned was, later when I was reading the scripts, especially the first two scripts, which are the first two that we got, is that Tom is such a brilliant writer, not just in the fact that he was able to create this world, but in the way that he also writes Nimue, being able to tell such an important story for a woman, a girl kind of coming into her womanhood, but also becoming a hero. It's very specific, and he just was so collaborative, and we had so many incredible talks, and he really just came and approached her with such compassion, but also so much understanding. And I also say, third reason why he's a great writer, amongst its many, is this story evolved. And I think that was also really incredible. Not only did Tom write the book, but he also adapted this for a screen. And as we were filming, he would be adapting the scripts. And as the scripts kind of evolved, so would Nimue's character, because her story is so rooted in the journey that we're taking. So it really was kind of a moment by moment development. And it was a really interesting thing because we sort of were learning and experiencing it as it was filmed.
All right, I've been thinking about this question that I'm going to ask you. English is my second language, so I apologize if I kind of sound like a therapist in the way that I'm wording it. But at your character wielding the sword takes a toll on her, which I'm not going to elaborate because I don't want to spoil it for the audience. But I imagine that I wanted to ask you if in portraying her journey, it seems so like physically and emotionally taxing. Is it sort of the equivalent for you? You love acting, but sort of wielding your talent, does it take a toll on you at all when you're doing a character like this?
Telling, not just a story like this, but this particular genre in a TV format, basically like doing 10 1-hour movies back to back in a year. It does. It takes a toll. But it's also so rewarding. And I think that was kind of the culmination of experiences last year when we shot this. It's that, we filmed in all these different locations and we worked 5-6 days a week. And, we battled the UK's weather, whether that was being snowed out in the middle of summer or filming. We filmed one of Nimue's biggest fight scenes. You'll know which one I mean. Maybe it's like one of the most epic ones. We shot that on the hottest day that the UK has ever had in history.
Oh my God.
In 3 layers of leather, and the rest of everyone else was wearing red blankets. But it's that kind of thing where you give so much to this work, and it's so enjoyable. And I think the payoff is seeing the enjoyment from people and hearing people like you who enjoy it. So it takes a toll, but like I love it.
All right. Well, good to hear. Great job. My time is up. Stay healthy. Thank you so much for talking to me today.
Likewise. Thank you so much. Take care.